Sew It Reversible, Sew It's Reversible pattern layout. Because the foundation is stabilized and sewn with a grid, you can lay your pattern out in any direction you choose, but don't get too carried away with your first project. Keep it simple. Leave the facing pieces in the pattern envelope and have fun. Pick the fabric you like. Let's make a vest. These are the fabrics I've chosen. Keeping it simple, I've chosen only one fabric for each side. You will be sewing both fabrics to the foundation at the same time. Before purchasing your pattern, please watch our tutorial on pattern picking. Once you've chosen your pattern, remove the main pieces from the envelope and trim off or fold over the seam allowance for your size. You won't need the facing pieces. You will, however, need to know the dimensions of the pattern pieces. Now, this is our foundation is 45 inches wide. Keep that in mind. Let's say you have a cute little vest pattern and the pattern states the length and the finished bust measurement. If the bust measurement is less than 45 inches, the width of our sewing foundation, you almost don't have to think. The pattern length states 26 inches long, so you're good to go. You will need approximately 29 inches in length by 45 inches wide. And it's a good idea to always purchase a few inches extra in length. Measure the pieces at the widest and longest areas and write the measurements on the pattern pieces. Your next step will be making the Sew It Reversible fabric. See our tutorial in the series 1 of 5, How to Begin. Once the reversible fabric is finished, place the pattern pieces on the Sew It Reversible fabric, pin in place, Now, cutting out the pattern pieces is easier in individual sections rather than a whole piece. Now you've got your 3 pieces cut out. We're going to talk about the join. Measure the shoulder seams and the side seams and add 2 inches to each area to be joined. 4 join areas. And you can see our tutorial, just join in for more information on how to join the section. Measure the outside borders of the back and both front sections. Add all measurements together and add 18 to 24 inches. Watch the tutorial, don't get into a bind. Finished here, but try designing your own additions to patterns, like 2 different color fronts, a lapel, or a fake pocket flap. Draw a lapel using the front pattern piece. Add a 1/4 inch seam allowance all around. Trace onto another piece of paper, place on a fabric, and cut the pattern out along the seam allowance. Fold the 1/4 inch raw edges of the diagonal and bottom edge to the wrong side. Press and sew the hem. Press again after sewing. Place the fake lapels right side together and sew the straight edges together using your 1/4 inch sewing foot. Place the center seam on the neckline, fold the lapels down and sew in place. Foundation is available by the yard and is 45 inches wide. It's available at www.quiltingonthegrid.com. To create your own designs, lay your pattern out on the foundation in various directions. You can see on the next drawings how the layout will be interpreted when finished. This approximates 1 yard of our Sew It Reversible Foundation. And this 1 yard of Sew It Reversible Foundation with fabric sewn to both sides. Laying your patterns out in different directions gives you different designs. For example, this layout produces this look. Laying your fabric pieces out in this fashion creates this look. And when you place a piece or two on the diagonal, the look really is spectacular. Remember when I said you sew fabric to both sides of the foundation at the same time? Well, this is what was being sewn to side 2. You just add a closure, actually 2, and you're finished. The next tutorial in this series is just join in.